Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today in this video I'll be doing the handover demonstration on the Elddis Encore 255, which is a 2016 model. So walking down the driver's side of the vehicle, first thing you're going to get there is your LPG locker, so your gas locker, liquid petroleum gas, and this opens with the tri-mark key, so you can either use the flat one or use the flip one to open these locks. Push them in, and then you have space for two 6kg gas bottles. You'll need to get an adjustable spanner or a gas spanner. It's a left hand thread, so hand tighten and then just nip the collar up of the gas spanner. Turn the bottle on and then press the green button for 3 seconds, so 1, 2, 3. Allows the gas from the bottle through the pigtail, and then if you are struggling to get into the van, there's a green button on the actual regulator on the vehicle itself. Press that in, 1, 2, 3, and it allows the gas into the vehicle. Always make sure it's tied in when you're traveling and off when you're on the road, so turn it off. So turn the bottle off, it is clockwise to turn off and anti-clockwise to turn on. Coming further back, you've got your cassette loo, so again opens with a tri-mark key. Make sure the blade on the bottom bowl of the toilet is closed, otherwise this cassette won't come out. Then you'll be able to lift the orange handle. Then it's on wheels, so you can drag it round with you instead of carrying it when it's full. And empty, you simply take the cover off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally behind or beside your toilet block. Press the button, tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, there's normally a tap there. Put some water in, give it a slight rinse, tip out again, and then you can fill it back with chemicals. So normally if you're using a liquid form, a cap full straight into here and it's ready to use, or if you're using a tablet form, put a pint of fresh water back into the cassette, slide it back into the vehicle and drop a tablet, so a specific Fetfit toilet tablet down the toilet, and it will work and degrade into liquid. Underneath you've got your waste tap, so this is any water that you've used, so shower water, hand-based water, dishes water, anything you've drained off down your sink, you just open and it will drain off like so. So you normally drive over a grid on the way out of a site, or if you're on a super site, sometimes you can connect to it and put it into the grate next to you and drain off. Coming round the back of the vehicle, you've got your high level brake light, your bike racks, so 2 bike racks. You'd slide the brackets off, drop the rail down, you've got a rail there, so you put 2 bikes on. The wheels on the rail, these through the spokes, and then these through the crossbars. So second bike and first bike for your crossbars. Then you can put additional locks on if you require to keep the bike secure when they're on the back of the motorhome. You've got your Aldi Truma vent. So this is just your Aldi vent for your heating and hot water system, so just make sure that's obstruction free at all times. And you've got your bullet style reverse camera on your number plate there. Moving down to the passenger side, you've got your external gas point, so you get an external gas point spigot, clips into there, then you can turn it on and off and it'll feed your barbecue or kayak with gas from the main vehicle instead of carrying a separate bottle. And then you've got a locker here, which again opens with the tri-mark key, and as you can see it's loaded with your carpets. This is a bit of your storage from underneath your bed, and you've got as the vehicle's alarmed, this is your alarm contacts. Fresh water drains here, so it's very the same as the waste. Any fresh water you've taken on, say you've taken on too much, or you've taken on contaminated water, or simply you want to drain the system down for the winter or when you're not in use, you just open it up and you can drain the system off. And then the fill's just above, so you use the key, the round-headed key, to open and shut this, put a hose pipe in there, filter it overflows until you're happy you've got enough water on board. And then next to it you do have your mains hookup point, so this is your mains connectivity point. So what you need to do is get your hookup lead, lift the collar, simply slide it on. Always hook the vehicle up first and then go to your sight, and obviously do it in reverse when unhooking the vehicle. Take the sight out and then the vehicle. 2 fridge vents, awning light, and then coming on to the cab side of it, so in here you've got your diesel filler which is a lockable diesel cap with your main ignition key. And then you do have your tyre pressures on the slam panel. So 5 bar on the front, 5.5 on the back, which is 72.3 on the front and 79.5 on the rear. Engine battery lives underneath the floor, so should you ever have to replace it, it's got to come out the cab floor for the Peugeot side, and your bonnet release is on the side of the passenger dashboard. Once under the bonnet, you've got your weight plate here from when it was converted into a motorhome. So you've got your SGE number, which is your unique build number from Elddis. It's 3.5 tonne gross vehicle weight. If you were to tow anything, you tow an extra 2 tonne behind you. Behind this cover here, so sometimes you will have to put the key in here and flip this cover up to release, and you can see the contact here for your positive for a jump start. So your red clip would go on there, and your earth, which is your black, would go on here for giving or receiving a jump start at the motorhome. You have your paint code for the white, the blank or white. Brake fluid, this cover lifts off and gives you access to the filler points for the radiator fluid and the power steering fluid. And in the corner you have your screen wash, which is the main one you're going to need when using the motorhome. So once inside the vehicle, this is your main 12 volt control panel. So if you hooked up, you will have a little picture of a hookup at the top, like so, a plug. You've got your master, which is your main on off. So if you hooked up, you'll get 240 when you turn the master on. If you're not hooked up, you'll just get 12 volt. You've got your pump, which you must put on to use your taps, toilet, shower. You've got your lights, which is your master switch for all your lights, which are then all individually switched around the van. And you've got your awning, which is your awning light above the habitation door here. Then if you use the arrows, you can scroll through. So this is your fresh water, so 71% of fresh water on board at the minute, 21% of waste. Your settings, so your select battery is your leisure. You always want the select battery to be your leisure, as this is the battery that runs the motorhome. You never want it to be your vehicle. Got your leisure battery voltage, which is 12.7, and then you're back to the start. So that shows you your main power. And then above you've got your Elddis, so you turn on and off here. Once it's turned on like so, you press menu, and as you can see, you've got your temperature at the top, so you can have it all the way to off or all the way to 30 degrees by pressing the plus. So you can see it's going up. And then underneath you've got the picture of the shower. This is your water, so this is how hot you want your water. So half a bar is 40 degrees, a full bar is 60. And then you've got your electricity sign, so you can have it on 1 kilowatt of power, 2 kilowatts of power, 3 kilowatts of power. Or if you weren't hooked up, you can obviously turn the gas on, which is on the bottom there. And obviously you can have the gas and electric on together should it be cold, so you can have it on 2 kilowatts and gas together, which will combine the two sources and reduce the time that it takes to heat the vehicle or the water up. You can then go into the settings and set timers and things, but for this we'll just keep it nice and simple. This is all explained in the handbooks with the vehicles, so we'll just leave it as that. And to turn on and off, you just press here. To lock your habitation door, if you just press this little catch in here, that locks the habitation door. And then you do have a blackout blind, and on the actual frame when the doors open you do have a fly screen. Now in the kitchen area, so as you can see, you've got 3 lit gas hobs there. So these are your gas burners, and then you do have an electric burner, which is this side here. You get the red light on, and that's only on 240 volts. So make sure that you haven't knocked that before you have hooked up, and make sure that you do allow the hob to cool down before you put the glass lid back down. Underneath you've got your grill with grill pan, so you might want to take the grill pan out when travelling, as it can rattle around, or you might want to wrap it up. And then underneath you've got your gas oven. This oven shelf is the wrong way around at present, so these lugs at the back need to go at the back of the oven to stop the jets being blocked by any food substance, so it'll go in that way. And then underneath you've got your gas tab for your oven, and you've got your connector for your 240 volt hot plate. storage all in here. So you've got your storage cupboard and your drawers, and then you've got your carousel cupboard. So you've got your storage underneath your sink. The water's working there and it's getting up to temperature. Your microwave is a 240 volt microwave, so you've got to be on mains power. It's a 800 watt household microwave, and to turn on you just press Eco, which will wake the microwave up. In here, or should I say above the microwave, is the isolation plug should you ever have to replace it in the future. It's just in there. And obviously in here you've got storage for your plates and your cups, and storage there for your other bits and pieces. Your window, open the window on the vehicle, obviously loosen all the tabs there, the levers, and then just tighten the black wheel which keeps the window out. Loosen it, we'll bring it in, and they're all are the same window, so make sure they're securely shut before you travel, along with the skylights which are on the roof, which I'll show you in a moment. You've got your blackout blind and you've got your fly screen. Then you do have your kitchen lights and two 40 volt sockets there when hooked up. Opposite to me is your, or should I say to your kitchen, is your Dometic fridge. So you turn on and off here, and then as you see the A lights up. This is automatic energy selection, so it knows what's best source to put the fridge on. So we do have hookup in the vehicle at the moment, and we do have a gas bottle on which is open. So between the two, it's picked that it wants to go and hook up, because obviously you're not wasting your gas. If I was to take the hookup out, it would go to gas, and then if I was to start the engine, it would go to the battery. And the battery isn't your leisure battery, it's your vehicle battery. When the engine is running, the alternator sends a feed from the fridge, or should I say from the alternator to the fridge, to keep the fridge at the same temperature as it was when departing. So the idea here is, if you're lucky enough to keep this at home and you've got hookup, or you've got hookup at your storage yard, hook the vehicle up the night before, put your shopping in, allow it to cool overnight. Obviously your shopping's lovely and cool, and then if you put it on A, it'll automatically switch over. If not, you can put it on the battery setting just by clicking it, and once the engine's started, it will keep the shopping fresh, which acts as a cool box. If you did want to override, you can just override like so. So I've put on the gas there, and I've put on the battery. It's failed because we're stationary, the engine's not running. Back to gas, and obviously with the automatic energy selection fridge, it is programmed to wait 20 minutes before lighting on gas. This is because if you pulled into a petrol station and your gas is open, obviously your engine's been cut off, so you've got no 12 volt. You've got no 240 because you're not hooked up, but you do have gas. It will light on gas, but it's automatically programmed to wait 20 minutes. So if you pull up while camping and you're wondering why your fridge isn't lighting for 20 minutes, just put it on manual for 20 minutes and you can switch it back over. In here you've got your big freezer box and your fridge, and then once you're finished with the fridge and freezer for the season, if you do clean it out, and then you can just push and slide these two tabs forward, and it stops the door from forming an airtight seal and allows ventilation in and out of the fridge and freezer. Underneath the fridge is your consumer unit, so you've got your trips and your RCD tester and all your MCBs there, and then you've got your 12 volt fuses. So it would be a good idea to carry some spare blade fuses with you. They're just normal blade fuses, and then you can replenish them should you need to. You've got your isolation tap for your fridge in here as well. And above the fridge you do have your dual charging battery regulator here for your solar panel. So the green there, the flashing, the solid should I say, so they are fully charged. You can press this button here and it'll change the percentage of the charge, so it'll give one more or one less. So this, at the minute it's set up 50-50, you can change it to 70-30, just in case you want to send the engine battery more charge than the leisure when it's stood. Teleco TV booster, so you can boost and weaken the signal at the top there should you need to, should it be too strong. And then with the TV aerial, when you're travelling, always make sure that it's secured, fastened with this nut. Make sure that the stem is pulled right in and tightened up. And then should you be struggling to get a TV signal, what you can do is loosen it, push the aerial up the vehicle like so, and then use the black collar to direct the aerial on the roof, so it'll tilt it back and forth, find the signal for you. But a tip is to look where all the other motorhomes and caravans are pointing on the site and point yours in a similar direction. To open the skylight up in the kitchen, which is the same as the one above the bed, pull down and slide. So just pull your body weight down and slide it, and then make sure once it is shut that the lugs are in the lugs of the roof light. And then you do have a fly screen and a blackout blind. Make sure it's securely fastened when you're travelling. Even in the summer, these can't be open as they're just plastic, and a gust of wind will just rip them off the vehicle, and they can be very expensive to replace. In your wardrobe area, you do have your Aldi expansion tank, so you fill from the top with antifreeze, and as you can see, it's got a min and a max. When the system is off, it tends to read lower than what it is, so you might think, oh, it's close to min, I best top that up. Don't. Put it on first and see how high the liquid actually gets, because 10 times out of 10 it'll go over max. If you top it up when it's near min. Put it on first, it'll show you the true reading of how much liquid is in the expansion tank, and then you can then top it up should you have to, and you've got a little breather there for the liquid. But if you need to top it up, it's just Aldi antifreeze liquid which you would have to use. In the washroom area, so to operate the toilet, as long as the pump's on, you'll be able to press the blue button at the back, which is a flush, and as you can see, it's filling with water. When using the toilet, what you need to do is fill it with water first, which lubricates the blade, then slide it to the right and let it into the cassette. Use the toilet with the blade open, then flush, and then slide it to the right and close. And that's how you'd use your toilet. And then when the cassette is full, you'll get a diagram on the back here. You've got your sink, your tap there. Water's lovely and warm now, so it's getting up to temperature really nice. Got your toiletry cabinet, got your shower screen. So when you travel, you'll have to put this down and just stop it from sliding around when you're on the road, just to lock it into place. And then when you winterize, if you take your shower head off the hose, lie the hose into the shower tray. As you can see, it's got a loop in, any water will build up there, and leave all your mixer taps within the vehicle open. Underneath your bed, obviously you've got your storage from outside, so there's all your carpets, fresh water tanks in here, pumps in there. So you've got your rafter bar and your awning winding handle. Your rafter bar goes in the centre of the awning once it's out, to just take the strain off the canopy should you have it out for a long period of time, but normally you wouldn't have to use this. You've got your gas tap here for your boiler, and there's your boiler there. So your Aldi boiler, which holds 10 litres of water at any one time. In the winter, it's very important that you drain it off. And to drain it off, there's a tap just down here, this yellow tap there. As you can see, it's lying down. What you need to do is you need to flick it up, and flick it up, and it will drain off the water. So leave it in the open position as it is over the winter months, and obviously the down position's closed, it holds water. So you'd come in with no electric on, no pump, open it up and allow the 10 litres of water out of the boiler. As if not, the water can freeze in this boiler. It's not covered under warranty, as it's your responsibility to drain the vehicle off, and it's very expensive should it need to be replaced. So to drain off, you just flick that tap up, open the waste and fresh outside, open all the taps within the vehicle, take your shower head off, and then that is your vehicle winterized. To operate your folding seats, that's the seat in position. To get it down, what you've got two levers. So you've got a lever at the bottom, which folds the seat down, and a lever here which folds the backrest back on itself. So what you need to do is lift the seat base up like so, slide it down so far, and then use this one to fold it back. So you just fold it like so, fold this one back, lift that up. But when you're doing it to put it down, so to put it up, so say remove all your cushions, lift this up. There's 2 levers here, so what you need to do is you need to slightly push this board up and press and hold it in until it's back against the wall like so. And then to get the chair up, obviously forward for the backrest, bottom, lift it up, and then you just use the 2 levers, and there you do have a travelling seat. And you've got the same on the other side, which works exactly the same. And then to make your 2 front beds into a bed, what you do is lift up and slide them out into the middle, and you lift up this one and slide that out of the middle. And then what you'll need to do is use the backrests, put them in the middle like so, and there you have your bed space. I'd also recommend turning the base cushions the other way, as you get a flatter surface on the backs of the cushions to put a fitted sheet, and it's far more comfortable to sleep on. Now open the cupboards. Instead of pulling out, if you push down, it will releases the catch, as if you pull out you'll get nothing. Got to push it down to release the catch, which locates onto here to stop them opening when in transit. To open your large skylight at the front, you'd simply wind to open, and obviously you've got to have this shut when travelling. Even though it's above the car, but it isn't designed to be opened when on the road. And you do have a blackout blind and a fly screen. To rotate your seats, you've got a lever here on this one passenger and a lever here on the driver. So you just slide. If it got stuck on the door, you just pull the driving seat forward and spin it round into the back. So now in the cab to the right of the driver, you do have the handbrake, and then on the door itself you've got the electric windows and electric mirror adjustments, which does the top and the blind spot. And then you've got Remus car blinds on the windscreen and side windows, so if you use your finger and your thumb and pinch, let the bottom lead, and then to do the windscreen, slide that one out and slide the other one out across there, and then just meet them in the middle. You are only on a magnetic catch, so you might want to put elastic band or hair band round there on an evening. Should it be windy, it might ping open because it's just magnetic. And then you've got the same on the passenger side. Then you've got your headlight adjustments and rear fogs, the alarm indicator, which I'll get on to in a second, trips on the end of the wiper stalk, headlights and indicators, cruise control at the top off, and speed limit on the bottom, cancel resume there, and then the set, you just push up to set it at your cruise control, so get to your desired speed and then just push it up. 6-speed manual gearbox with lift the collar and into reverse. This locks your habitation doors as well as your 2 cab doors on an evening. Put your heated mirrors and obviously your fog lights. 2 12-volt points there. USB and auxiliary up here for the radio. And then your radio is FM and AM and DAB. And then you can press 1 to 6 to save your favourite channels. Media could be a USB, Bluetooth audio or auxiliary. And to connect your phone, you just press phone, connect phone, press enter, find my car on your smart device, make sure the pins match. Once the pins match, press pair on your phone, press pair on here, and then it will ask you if you want to allow it to sync your contacts on your phone. So your phone book, press yes, and it will save all your contacts onto the head unit, so whoever rings you comes through. Below you've got your temperature on the outside ring, Fan speed must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work, which is your middle button. Then you've got where you want the air to go to, your distribution, and obviously circulating air through the vehicle or within the vehicle. And then for your reverse camera, turn it on there, and that is your reverse camera. So the red lines are your bumper, and then this is just a grid of safe distance that you've got to back up to your object in the background. To operate your alarm, so your alarm is a Cobra, or should I say Vodafone category 1 alarm, and it's been wired through the central locking system, so through the key. So if you locked it, obviously it locks driver's, passenger and habitation door, and then you'd have to manually lock the other door, so your garage door, underneath the bed, and your other doors. And then if you just press the lock button on the key, it will set the alarm. So it will set the interior and the perimeter vehicle alarm. Should you want to stay in the vehicle and set the alarm, you'll have to turn your ultrasonic sensors off, which are on your A and B posts at the front of the vehicle. So to do so, you put your key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, turn the ignition off. Within 6 seconds you've got to press and you've got to hold this button. As you can see, it's flashing red light. Once it stops flashing red light like it has now, the sensors have gone off. But as soon as you then start the engine, they go back to default, and you have to do that again. So do just take in mind, if you want to arm the vehicle with yourselves, then you've got to turn the ultrasonic sensors off like so. This now brings us to the end of your handover demonstration on a 2016 Elddis Encore 255. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact Tyne Valley Motorhomes on 01207 272 777, or email our sales team at sales@tynevalleymotorhomes.co.uk. Or if you've just come across this vehicle and you like the look of it, contact our sales team to see if we can source a vehicle like this for you.